Growing. And we are live. It's Tips Tuesday, everyone. Hi and welcome. I'm Laura Rubenstein here with the amazing Tessa Ashford. Hi, Tessa.
Hi, everyone.
We have a really fascinating topic today, and it's all about creating topics. It's about your content strategy. Woo! So, we want to help you save time and we want to help you grow your business. And we believe in content marketing and amongst other things because there's so many spin-offs from that. So I thought, Tess, we could start off with just defining what is a content calendar and then get into how do we develop topics and the tools we use and how do we, get a whole strategy around it so that it actually serves a purpose. Whether you want to build your influence, create more authority in your industry, be known as the go-to professional or business or product, or sell more,
Or all of the above.
right, or all of the above. If you raise your hand if this, you want this. If you want this is what putting a content strategy together can do for you. And it starts with a schedule of content, what we call our content calendar, that you're going to post. And it doesn't just come randomly. So, Tess, where should people start?
Right. Well, I think that the biggest picture, well, most people, when they think content calendar, they think literally just a calendar, but it's not just a physical calendar like you would see on your wall. It's actually planning out the topics. And that's the big, I guess our big second topic is how to do that, right? How do you plan out your topics? So I'm going to show you what we do for ideas and ideation, basically, where we put our thoughts. So if you want to go ahead and share, oh, yep, you already are. I just have to get back there. Yeah. So really it starts with what you want to be known for. And without being overwhelmed by the sheet at all, think of what you specifically want people to know about you. And for me, we're looking at one of my content plans for a show that we do on a regular basis in Women's Entrepreneur Network. So we talk about momentum. So we want to be known as people who help business owners get momentum. Then our topics are all about getting momentum in your business, right? So I'm going to click on, where did my...
Can I point out something here
Yeah.
that I'm seeing? So I'm noticing column C. It's stuck out to me. It's like the topic and the theme, and you develop content around that theme.
Right, exactly.
That you have. So
Yep.
then what? Yes.
Right. So this is a better way to see the theme. So a topic, this type of chart is basically going to say, well, what do I want to be known for? So if it's the momentum coaching, or if it's my tech tips, like that's my thing. I want to be known as like the girl that people go to when they need to get their problem solved from a tech standpoint or learn how to do something. So I could lay out all of my topics based on that. So what are the challenges that people have in technology in their business? These are topics that people have in their business for the where business might get held up. So we have bigger topics, and then we just outline what types of things fall into there. So a lot of people are thinking calendar, and I like to think more linear. I like to think, okay, well, here's the big picture ideas of what I want to cover. It makes a heck of a lot easier to find content to do on a regular basis. So you're just listing things out, putting them into categories. And again, this is where your themes might come from. So money and legal actually is on our list to do for it's coming up. So we don't have it on this one yet, but let's say pricing, because that was one of our topics in there. So we might have a whole that is associated with finances and money and accounting and what you do. So you see pricing right here. We're breaking it up into smaller themes that are doable for us to actually go through with people. And we do often use series shows. So we'll do series 1, 2, 3. We have a 3-part series for freebies. So it's easier for us to put one topic per month, right? So now we know exactly what we're going to talk about for a whole month. Sometimes, like what we do for our Tips Tuesday, we're not really 3 series because it's not as in-depth information. So you don't have to go with series, but this
right. Like what I see is you have standalone topics / themes, and you have themes that become series of topics. And that's, every brand is different in the way they do their content strategy and their content calendar. And it really depends on really not how what you prefer, but the audience,
Right.
the
Right.
market. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So for our specific audience, like these concepts are so big, it's if we were to try to cover everything in one session, we would blow their mind and it would be way too long, right? So we're tending to break it up into little pieces, like using LinkedIn to open doors, then turning small talk into business opportunities, and then attracting your muse wherever you go. Again, under 18 minutes. But let's just step back one step, because a lot of people are probably thinking, well, what is it she's creating, right? So I think that it's really important before we go into the tools, Laura, that we just talk about what it is that this is, right? For us, this is a video. Once a week, we create like a piece of video content that we're going to use to create all the other little pieces that we need to put into our calendar, right? So that we can make most of our time and not be sitting there trying to create content all the time. So ours start with a like 30-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute training, and then we create those, the podcast or the blog, the social media copy from that, so that it's all dispersed from that one piece. And you might.
So what I love about what you're saying is that you take a topic, and we're going to do some research, figure out what is going to actually be attractive. What does the clientele and the market want? What are they already craving? I always say, find the crave, get the rave. And then you have this theme. From the theme, you start thinking about how are you going to bring your wisdom out, whether it's going to be a show. Maybe you have this weekly show, and from the weekly show, then you create what you're showing us is spin-off content.
Right.
You have a blog post which has that video in it. You had on the screen a quote. You could do infographics. You could do slide shares. You could do full-length presentations if you have a speaking engagement. So it doesn't have to just be on social media. It could be content for, other ways. And that's the next thing is we want to talk about, how do we monetize this? How does a content plan get monetized? Why are we doing this? Because usually there's a goal in mind, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the bigger picture is, how does this all tie into your bigger picture? I mean, obviously in ours, when we were doing these shows, we have an actual event that is planned. So we knew that, hey, we're going to talk about all these, how to break the ice, how to use LinkedIn to reach the right people. It all goes into a bigger theme, which is a momentum party that we actually sell tickets for. So we knew that when we got those pieces of exposure, we could have sign up forms. We could get people funneled into our purchasing. For somebody else, it might be to sign up for their to get notifications of their podcast, or to follow them. I mean, your goal, your outcome will depend on what you're trying to accomplish in your business, clearly.
Right. And when you have that goal, you can establish the calls to action. So for your momentum party, you have a landing page that takes that they can buy the tickets on.
Yes.
For a podcast you want to get more views for, you have a link to the iTunes or the Stitcher or wherever you're hosting to get downloads and subscribers, right? Exactly. So you always have a piece of content that has a call to action ideally on it. Most of the content will have that you post either a link, or in Instagram, there's a link in bio, right? So that is the main call to action that you're focusing on at that time. And and one thing I love about sites like Pinterest is you've got that links back to places and drives a lot of traffic. Social Buzz Club is all about, then if you have blog posts or shows, you have a whole community driving traffic for you. So the beauty of putting together a content plan is that you can, if you do it strategically, you do the research of what your market is craving that you want, and you have the intersection of where you overlap of what you want to be known for and what they're craving, and you serve it up in a strategic way, you plan your content out and you plan your calls to action out, then you have a machine, you have a systemized, you've saved time, you have your content calendar. And that's really what we do as an agency. We plan your content with you. We want to help you organize this. You don't have to master this if you're working with a team, right?
True, it's true. And you mentioned that, and I know we were going to cover tools, and we still have a little bit of time to cover tools, but I do think that that's the trick of all of this. And I know Laura mentioned it, but having a team behind you that lets you do that 1 hour, and then these are all planned out strategically, like the quote that I showed you guys, that is also tagging the person that's the guest, and then that's driving extra traffic back to you. So having systems or some standard operating procedures, like here's what we do with our one show. So you are doing less and your team is, is backing you and making all that happen. That's a really good, helpful tool. So number one tool would be your team. But if you're trying to do it on your own, there are a couple tools I wanted to point out that are important to make all this work, this whole bigger picture. First of all, you mentioned it, Laura, that we need to make sure that they want this information. So Keywords Everywhere. If you want to share my screen, I'm just going to show how this works. This is the bigger picture of the topic. So Laura, give me any topic, any keyword we're going to search for right now. Obviously, you can start seeing some numbers come up here.
How about insomnia? Curing insomnia.
Curing. Well, so before I even hit to go through a search, this Keywords Everywhere is a plugin for Chrome, and I want to say that it might have been one-time purchase type thing. It's definitely not a monthly subscription. Oh no, you buy credits now. So you buy credits to use, and you'll see when I go to do this. So if I want to say curing insomnia, which is really funny because I was up very late, so there was even a curing insomnia naturally. So some things that you guys see here that are not on a typical Google search are the number of people searching for this topic and how much it costs per click to run an ad for that. So these people right here are probably paying up to $1.14-ish on average to have these spots. Well, what does this tell you? It's really telling you that insomnia causes are one of the biggest things that people are searching for in volume, and the cost per click is pretty darn low. So if I were going to write some content because I have a, snore preventive tool for people or something, because that's one of the things that causes it, maybe I might write an article about insomnia causes, or I might go interview people as my content. I know that keyword's a good word. I want to make sure it's built into anything that I do in that phrase, because everything you put out there is viewable, right, by Google.
Yeah. Or getting better sleep, or how would I compare which is better, getting better sleep or curing insomnia? Yeah.
So see these, it's coming up with all these different options. Sometimes you don't want the big, you don't want it to be a high competitive because you're going to pay more in general. So the lower this number is, the better. This is by far one of the best keywords. So I don't know, anyone out there that's dealing with sleep issues, like, hello, that's great. Low competition, low cost per click, and many, many people looking for it. Now you just have to give to, Google's going to take a little time to look for it. But these are all ideas. If you want to go back and like saying getting good sleep, you just start a new search and see where you're at. But you can download these to export it as an Excel file, so you can come back and look at these at any time. It's even showing you over the years. Well, this is a very interesting, like so many people were searching a long time ago. Less and less people are searching for this now. Okay. Don't know what that means.
Sleep now.
Right? So I love this tool for picking my content. It is a big thing. And then how to word that for people so that that it's intriguing and it captures people's attention would be headline testers. So we have 2 headline testers that I use pretty regularly, and there's no perfect tool. I think if there was, then we wouldn't need people like us to come up with marketing solutions, but you can use these to pop in curing insomnia. Like that's probably not, see, I can't even spell it. Let me go get it over here. probably not going to be a title in itself. It's going to say, well, that's probably not a good title, Tessa, but like how to cure insomnia or something like that it will enter up to 20 words. You probably don't want more than that for your headline tester, but it actually will go do some calculations on your headline and tell you if it's a good one. And it's just going to give you some suggestions. It's not going to tell you it's the perfect way to go. Why is it not?
And there are several different headline analyzer tools. Just Google on it and you'll find a couple. This one happens to be by the Advanced Marketing Institute. You've got to take them and this is by CoSchedule. Shout out to them. I want you to take it with a grain of salt because they're going to show you two different results. And they come from two different marketing perspectives on that. And so, we use them as guidelines, but not as the Bible type of thing. So I also want to shout out, thanks for the love, Melanie and Jess and Mary and Sean and Brooke. We really appreciate you being here. And, like always, if you have questions, you can definitely put them here for us and we'll get back to you on that. And also want to let people know that if you want a bit more of information on how to develop a content plan and I would be happy to give you a online marketing strategy, but really to talk about content planning for monetization of your brand. So schedule a time with me if you want to discover and discuss if a content plan is for you and how we could help you do that. Because Tess and I, we're a fabulous content planning team. I mean, we love it. This is our passion. We want to help you monetize by showing your authority, offering the value that people are craving, and really positioning yourself as that leading industry leader and progressive brand out there, like a legendary brand. We're all about creating legendary brands and we want to do it right, and we love doing it through content. So anything else we want to mention about content strategy?
Oh my gosh. No, I think that we're trying to compact all this information in one tiny little
show.
There is
one more thing. So once you've developed it, you've got to schedule it out or put it out there. And we create a calendar and we typically use tools. And we did a whole show on social media scheduling tools. So that is what comes in next. So this is like the prequel to that show.
Right.
How do you get all this content? You don't make it up and on the fly and say, I think I'm going to develop 50 quotes. You could do that if it's strategic, if it's around a call to action. But really, we like to develop content and the quotes that go with that content and the quotes that go with that content. So I'm sorry you're sad. Somebody's sad. Andy. Well, hopefully we're making your day.
Yeah. Well, and this is a great example of how we could have a series that was like how to do your content plan. Now, how to build those, scheduling in, and how to batch your posts up in a tool like Agora Pulse or one of those. So we could be doing, in fact, we probably will do a whole nother piece on how to turn those into the different content quickly. So we've got the opportunities right there for our own content planner, but we're trying to make these bite-sized. So
content is huge. And so we're passionate about it and we want to, but it does take a lot of time. So a lot of people step back and they're like, what can I do? Or they have tons of content, but they haven't strategically put it out there. So we love working with both types of brands, whether you have a lot of content and it's not organized, or you don't have a lot of content, but you have a lot of wisdom. And then there's even courses you can develop from, you can take pieces from your courses, you can put things into courses that you don't put out on social media. It's not about giving all your information away. But as you can see, we're giving you a ton of value, but we know that helps you have more trust and confidence on us. It may help you develop better content and a plan, and it may also bring you to our storefront, our online storefront, right? Storefront, so to speak. So I hope we get to talk to you. I'd love to. I know you love brainstorming about brands. We love doing that. So schedule a time, and we'd love to help you.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.